I've been associated with the foundation for about 13 years now.
Okay, I'm Kathy Rentfrow, and I've been involved with the foundation for about 10 years now, mostly with advocacy.
I'm Billy McLaughlin. I have been associated with DMRF for about 10 years, about as long as Kathy, and I'm recently elected non-voting board member now of the DMRF Board of Directors.
Well, we're trying to keep dystonia on the list of eligible diseases that the Department of Defense is studying, because a lot of the military are coming back from the wars with traumatic brain injuries or other traumatic injuries that can eventually lead to dystonia. So we want to make sure that the research is being done and that the military is aware of dystonia, what it is and how it manifests. And testifying before the Senate was really an honor for me. And I have to say that I love Senator Inouye. And when I was in the Navy, I was stationed in Hawaii. So that's when I first heard about Senator Inouye. And so I did a little Hawaiian aloha to him, and that kind of broke the ice. But it was an interesting process, and I'm just so grateful that I had the opportunity to do that, to help as much as I can. And being a veteran myself, I was in the Navy, so that made it even more special. Well, I'm hoping that dystonia will be on the list for fiscal year 2012 on the list of eligible diseases, again, so that they get funded for research, because no matter where the research is coming from, no matter who's doing the research, it counts. So the more people, the more organizations that we can get involved in doing research on dystonia to find a cure, the quicker we can find a cure. Well, for me personally, it has been such a rewarding experience. Not only do I feel like I'm helping other people and helping to find a cure, but I have met so many different people and made so many good friends. And through the foundation, I've been exposed to so many different experiences and opportunities. And I encourage everybody to get as involved as they can in whatever aspect. Not everybody can be an advocate or go to Washington, D.C., but every little bit helps. So whatever you can get involved in, whatever you can do, do it.
What happened was the Dystonia Medical Research Foundation was asked to testify to the DoD Appropriations Senate Subcommittee. Unfortunately, they forgot to tell the DMRF that they'd been chosen to testify, and so they called the day before to get Janet's testimony, and they said, "What testimony?" And Janet was in Boston and couldn't make it, so they called me up at home. Luckily, I was free. They said, "Can you get down there tomorrow and testify on behalf of the DMRF?" I said, "Absolutely." Our lobbyists wrote my testimony with information about my daughter and our experience. And yeah, I went down and testified for Senator Inouye and Senator Cochran. And it was a really rewarding experience. It was neat to be involved in that aspect of legislation. And I used my testimony in some of my classes at high school to show how advocacy does work, because what I testified on was including it on the DoD Appropriations Subcommittee bill, to include it on the DoD peer-reviewed medical research program list. And it was included for the fiscal year 2011, so it's being studied by the DoD medical researchers. And it's an interesting list because even though it's on the Appropriations Committee, it doesn't actually appropriate any money for it. All it is a list of eligible conditions. So a condition has to be on that list, but then the researchers decide what kind of research they want to do. But conditions do need to be on that list in order to be eligible for that. So it seems like an easy fix. You ask Senate, please, could you put this condition on the list? And then the researchers can continue to do their research. If dystonia is not on the list, there would be some important research that would end up being stopped. And it's important that that not happen, because anywhere we can get research is important.
There's plenty of room. There's plenty of room at Advocacy Day for everybody who wants to come out. And if you haven't spent time in Washington, going around in the Senate and Congress buildings, it's a fascinating thing to feel like you're there, and you are there on official business. Our work is important. Funding from NIH, which was a big focus of my group, and the offices that we visited, is critical to studies that are like, 5-year studies, and they're in year number 2 now, and we have to keep the funding going so that they don't lose the ability to finish those studies. So yeah, it's empowering is the best word I've heard here today. It really is.
I would say definitely to just get involved. I've been taking Melissa to Advocacy Day since she was 10 years old. And she's been meeting with senators and congressmen and their aides and teaching them about dystonia. And it's really very empowering as both a patient and a parent to feel like you're making a difference. And often dystonia can seem very hopeless. And when you feel like you're making a difference, it really can help make you feel like you are making a difference. Wow, I said that twice. It can really empower you. Thank you for supporting the Dystonia Medical Research Foundation in finding a cure.